Good evening, children. How are you? Fine. Okay. Now is the session of business study. Okay. In the previous session, we had discussed about the meaning of coordination. And in that very discussion, we came to know that coordination is an integrating force of an organization established and maintained by the management to achieve common goals of the organization. Okay, and coordination involves three main elements which are called integration, timing and balancing. All these we have discussed in the previous session. Okay, so today let us discuss different characteristics of coordination. Till now we have discussed what is called coordination, and now we shall discuss what are the basic characteristics of coordination in something detail. Okay, so let us first take up the first characteristic of coordination, and that is it integrates group efforts. Okay, children, in fact in any organization a group of people work. Okay, and in this group the people perform different activities. They have their different jobs. Okay, however it is required to perform in an uniform manner as per plan and to achieve the common goals. Okay, so coordination as an integrating force has to be established when a group of people works in the organization in which more than two persons are working. Otherwise, if there is an individual effort, only one person is in work, there is no need of coordination. So simply you can say coordination is required when there is a group effort, not individual effort. Okay. Second important characteristic of coordination is that it ensures unity of action. Okay. When we say unity of action in an organization, then what does it mean? Okay. Unity of action means compliance of each and every activity and performance of each job in the same direction for accomplishment of the organizational goals. Okay, although the people are performing different jobs, doing different activities, however these activities are interrelated, integrated, and they should perform towards achievement of the common goals. That is called unity of action. Means all the people should work in the same direction in the planned manner as per instructed. Okay, that is called unity of action, means movement towards accomplishment of common goals. Okay, so if there is no coordination, this unity of action cannot be achieved. Okay, so coordination as an integrating force ensures unity of action in an organization. Okay, the third important characteristic of coordination is that it is a continuous process. Continuous process means what? It is not one time and for all. Continuously there is a need of coordination. Okay, sometimes situations of the organization go out of control. Sometimes somewhere there happens to be overwork, sometimes there happens to be underwork, somewhere there may be diversions from the plans, deviations from the plans. So it is the responsibility of managers to see all the time where is the need of coordination. Means all the concerned managers of the organization are always busy in maintaining timing and in integrating each and every activities, as well as in creating balance in the organization. Okay, so we can say that coordination is a continuous process. Okay, continuously it goes on, continuously it has to be maintained. Okay. The next important characteristic of coordination is that it is all pervasive. All pervasive means it has an universal application, which means in all sorts of the organization, whether it is small or large, or it is a business organization or it is non-business organization, in all types of the organization where there is a concept of group activity, certainly there is a need of coordination. Already we have discussed coordination is required not for individual effort but for group effort. Okay, and where there is a concept of group effort, there will be a need of coordination no matter what type of organization it is. Okay, so you can say that coordination is all pervasive function of management. Okay, the next important characteristic of coordination is that it is the responsibility of managers. Okay, it is important to note here that the coordination has to be maintained by the concerned managers. To establish coordination, plan has to be set up, instructions have to be given, orders are passed, okay, and so many schedules are maintained, so many steps are taken to establish coordination. Communication system is developed in the organization. Okay, so in fact all these steps, all these activities are undertaken by the concerned managers. Not this is the responsibility of the managers, not of non-managerial employees. Okay, non-managerial employees have to follow the instructions given by the managerial employees. Thus, coordination is the responsibility of the managers to be established in the organization. Okay. The last but not least, coordination is a deliberate function. Okay. Deliberate function means it is not established automatically in the organization, but for establishment of proper coordination all over the organization, so many steps have to be taken by the concerned managers. Okay, the managers apply their wisdom, the managers use their intelligence, the managers use their skills, expertise, etc. to establish better coordination in the organization. Okay, in fact, you know, children, it is said that the success of management in an organization is realized in terms of coordination established by it. Okay, and if the coordination is established successfully, then certainly the goals of the organization will be achieved successfully. So, it is deliberately established by managers. In fact, it is the responsibility of managers. So, they deliberately establish coordination in the organization. It cannot be created or established automatically. Okay. So, now we have completed the topic meaning and characteristics of coordination as a distinct function of management. So, children, better you go through this topic in detail from the textbook and make a conversation with me if you want to discuss something more in detail. Okay, thank you very much.